how to set your organisation up, and then some sort of top tips on how our causes that raise really well with us, how do they do it? And then, yeah, questions at the end. And I'll also make sure you've got my contact details as well at the end. A little bit about Easy Fundraising before I go into kind of how it all works. So as Rachel said, we are a fundraising platform, and we exist to help good causes with fundraising. So yeah, since it's 2005, 2007, we became Easy Fundraising. We had a slightly different name before that, but we've been going for a long, long time. About 190,000 good causes all around the UK that use Easy Fundraising and trust us. Members of the Institute of Fundraising, so we do take your fundraising very seriously indeed. And actually 48 million's been raised now. I'll have to get them to update the website, but yeah, we're up to 48 million. We should hit the 50 million mark, I think towards the end of this month actually, which will be very exciting, or maybe early December. So yeah, that's what we do. We exist to help good causes raise money. And the way that we do that is that we partner with online retailers, 8,000 online retailers. And because of the relationship we have with those retailers, they will all donate money to your organisation when your supporters shop online with them. So when I say supporters, I mean anybody connected to your organisation. So your volunteers, your staff, if you have them, trustees, your committee, your family and friends, your wider community. One of the really good things about Easy Fundraising is that anybody connected to your organisation can help you raise money for free. And by organisation, I mean any sort of good cause. So it doesn't really matter what you are, providing you have unselfish aims and you are supporting the community in one way or another. So you don't need to be a specific type of organisation. You can also be a social enterprise or a CIC, voluntary organisation, faith organisation, school, sports club, food bank, voluntary, support group that, is helping people, anything like that, you can use Easy Fundraising. So before I get on and kind of explain exactly what it's all about, I just thought I'd give you a few stats. Don't worry at all. It's not going to be stats all the way through this because nobody likes that, but I just thought I'd talk a little bit about Christmas shopping, because it won't have escaped your notice that people are Christmas shopping now. And in fact, 22 billion spent online last November and December. So this is the time of year where more people than ever turn to online shopping. There was a survey earlier in the year, 40% said they plan to start their Christmas shopping before October. So potentially 40% of your supporters have already started their Christmas shopping. And 15% said they'd already started shopping in August. I mean, I don't know who those people are, but hats off to them. And 57% of consumers will do most, if not all, of their Christmas shopping online. So again, nearly 60% of your supporters will be shopping online in one way, shape or form this Christmas. And yeah, what Easy Fundraising does is we turn that shopping into donations for your good cause. So the way that it works, and I am going to give you a demo, is that all of the retailers we partner with will donate a certain percentage of what someone has spent with them back to your good cause when they shop with them through the Easy Fundraising platform. So let's say, as an example, you wanted to buy a kettle from Argos, as an example. So instead of going to the Argos website, you would come to Easy Fundraising, search for Argos, we will send you to the Argos website, and you will then shop completely as normal. Everything else is exactly the same. You're shopping with Argos, you're not shopping with us. Prices are the same, everything's exactly the same. The only difference is, because you started at Easy Fundraising, the retailer, Argos in this example, will donate a certain percentage of how much that kettle cost back to your good cause. It won't cost you a penny extra. So if you were going to spend £50 at Argos, you are still just going to spend £50 at Argos. But the retailer will donate, I think Argos is 1%. So 1% of that £50 goes to your good cause at no extra cost to you. It's the retailer that pays the donation. Each retailer sets their own donation amount. So some might be 0.5% or 1%, some might be 4%, 5%, 6%. But the important thing is they will all donate when a supporter shops with them, and it will not cost the shopper anything extra. Some of the benefits, and there are lots, but one of the main benefits that people love about Easy Fundraising is that it's unrestricted funding. So all of your supporters can do all of their shopping through Easy Fundraising. This gets totaled up and given to your good cause, and you can spend it on whatever you want. So this isn't like applying for a grant or a funding pot where you need to say exactly what you're going to spend it on and, you know, outcomes and that sort of thing. You use it for whatever you want. We don't mind. So if you want to use it for a particular project, go right ahead. If you want to use it for keeping the lights on or keeping the volunteers stocked up with tea and coffee, that's also fine. Whatever you need it for, that's good. Also unrestricted in that there's no time limit. So it's not like a crowdfunder where you've got to try and raise a certain amount of time. Use Easy Fundraising for as long as you want and raise as much as you want. There's no time limit and we're not going to cut you off. As I said, we started back in 2007 and we still have causes raising with us that started with us back in 2007. So unrestricted in all senses of the word. Very importantly, it's completely free. So it is not going to cost your organisation anything to become an Easy Fundraising good cause, and it isn't going to cost your supporters anything other than that shopping that they were already going to do. And that's really important too. They're able to give to your organisation at no extra cost to them. And at the moment, when times are difficult, we are living through a cost of living crisis, and unfortunately donations to good causes is one of the first things that people will cut back on when they're looking for ways to if they're struggling to feed their children or heat their home, they are going to look for ways to cut back. And unfortunately, donations too might be one of the ways they do that. And it's not because they don't want to support you, not at all. I've read a survey recently and said actually the cost of living crisis and the COVID pandemic has made people more aware than ever before of what an important role the third sector plays. But it might just be that they're not able to physically donate their own money to you. But with Easy Fundraising, this is a way that if they're going to do any shopping at all, it can become a donation for you. This isn't about encouraging them to shop more or spend more or buy something they weren't going to buy. It's purely about if they were already going to buy something with that retailer, they can now raise a donation. And because there are so many retailers involved, they're not going to have to change where they shop. These are the retailers that they're shopping with are already part of Easy Fundraising. Here's a handful of some of the really popular ones. There are so many. There are all the supermarkets, lots of travel retailers, department stores, fashion, home, travel, all sorts. Even a Friday night takeaway from Just Eat or Domino's or Uber Eats can get you a donation. Easy Fundraising is not just for Christmas. So I've talked a little bit there about Christmas shopping, but actually Easy Fundraising is something that is ongoing all year round for as long as you want to use us. It's something that ticks along nicely in the background, giving you a steady income stream that supplements what you're doing. You can carry on and do all of the other things that you might be doing for your cause. So if you are applying for grants funds, you can still do that. If you're putting on events or doing a donor push, all of that you can still do. But Easy Fundraising is just something you can have as an always-on fundraising method. Before I give you a demo, there's a few questions that you might be thinking right now. You don't need to be a charity to use Easy Fundraising. You don't need to be constituted in any particular way other than, as I said, unselfish goals. And when you register your organisation with us, we will do the due diligence at our end. So we're not expecting you to upload documents or anything like that. You'll register with us. We will just go off and check that your organisation exists, and then we can make you live. So we're not going to ask you to jump through hoops to join Easy Fundraising. And we're not looking to turn people away, quite the opposite. We want you to be able to raise with us. But you don't need to be a charity. You can be any sort of good cause. And as I've said, it won't cost you anything. Easy Fundraising is free, always has been free and always will be free. We are funded by the retailers. They will give us a commission if somebody makes a purchase. That is separate to the donation. And that is how we keep Easy Fundraising free for everybody forever. You'll be paid your donations every 3 months, which is nice. So we will total up everything that your supporters have raised for you through their shopping, and we'll pay it directly to your organisation every 3 months. We will ask you how you'd like to be paid, whether that is by bank transfer, which is how most of our causes prefer to be paid, but we can also pay you by cheque if that's better for you. We'll total it all up and we'll pay it to you in one go every 3 months. You just need to have raised £15 in that quarter, in that 3 months, to trigger a payment. If you haven't, don't worry, you won't lose it. It will just roll to the next quarter. So we're never going to take that money off you. Don't worry. So let me give you a demo now of how it works, and then I'll show you how to register your organisation. So with Easy Fundraising, it's a cause-centric model. So by which I mean your organisation, you register your organisation with us as a good cause, and then you ask your supporters to come and choose you as the cause they support. Once they've done that, every time they shop, they raise for you. So it goes, you register, then your supporters register, and then they're able to raise. But for the purpose of this demo, what I'm going to show you first is how your supporters raise for you, so you can see exactly how they're going to be raising that money for you. And then I'll show you how to register. So I'm sort of doing it in reverse order, but I thought it would be useful for you to see exactly how your supporters are going to raise that money for you. So this is the Easy Fundraising website. This is what one of your supporters will see. They will have registered to support you, and they will have a little mini account like this on Easy Fundraising where they can see who they support. This is my Easy Fundraising account. So you're looking at mine. Home Start Birmingham Northwest is the name of my cause. So for your supporters, it will say the name of your cause, and they'll be able to see how much you've raised with Easy Fundraising, how much you've raised in the last 30 days, how many supporters you have. Next to that, you will see they will be able to see their donations, so they can see how much they've raised. So these are some of my most recent donations that I've raised in the last couple of weeks. So there are 3 ways that you can raise money with Easy Fundraising. The first way is through the website. So you've chosen the cause you're supporting. Just do that once, and then you come to the Easy Fundraising site and you simply search for the retailer that you want to shop with. If I wanted to shop with John Lewis, I would simply type John for John Lewis, and it would take me here to this page, and it will show me that John Lewis are going to donate 1% of what I spend, unless I'm buying one of these niche products, in which case it would be 0.5%. And I simply click that, shop now. It takes me to John Lewis, and I then shop completely as normal. So I'm shopping with John Lewis. I'm not shopping with Easy Fundraising. Prices are the same. Everything else is the same. Only difference is John Lewis are now going to donate 1% of what I spend back to my good cause, back to my Home Start. So let me just give you another example. So if I search for booking.com as an example, again, tell me that they're going to donate 4%. I click that. It just takes me out to booking.com, where I just do my shop as normal. And I'll raise 4%. The reason I've shown you booking.com is that I raised a £49 donation this year with booking.com. I booked my summer holiday. We went to Prague for my son's 21st, and I raised a £49 donation. So I thought that was a good one to shout out. So you can just search for the retailer, or if you prefer, you can look by category. So if I go shop by category here, you will see that there is a list of our categories here. If I scroll down, let me just choose travel as an example. And I'll go holiday packages, and then I'll get a list of all of the retailers that fit within that category and what their donation rate would be. So if I wanted to choose first choice, again, just takes me here, and I'll just click shop now, and it takes me to first choice. So that is one way, by actually just coming to the website and searching for the retailer. The other way, second way, is through our app. So that works in exactly the same way as the website. You just search for the retailer that you want to shop with, and we'll send you out to the retailer where you shop. The app is great for those sort of purchases you might make just sitting on the sofa in the evening, watching TV, and you just think, oh, I quickly need to buy this. You can quickly go onto your app and register. And click out to a retailer. But the third way is what's known as our browser extension, or also our donation reminder. So what this does is it makes it even easier, because when we first started way back when, the thing we heard more than anything from people was, well, it's a great idea, I love it, but I forgot forgot to go to Easy Fundraising. I just went straight to the retailer and I forgot. So we thought, okay, we're going to need to fix this. So we created our donation reminder. And what it does is you download it once to your computer or your laptop. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can download it to that. And very soon, within the next few weeks, you'll also be able to download it to an Android tablet or phone. And once you've got it downloaded, if you were to go straight to a retailer's website without going through Easy Fundraising first, the donation reminder will kick in and make sure you don't miss out on a donation. So I'll show you what I mean. So I've come out of Easy Fundraising now. I'm just in Google, in Chrome. So I'm just going to search for a retailer. I want to shop with Etsy. It's my daughter's birthday next week. Need to buy her something. So I'm just going to search for Etsy. I haven't gone through Easy Fundraising. But you'll see it doesn't matter, because what happens is this pops up to tells me there's a donation available. I simply click that. It keeps me on the Etsy website and it logs me in the background to my Easy Fundraising account. So now I won't miss out on a donation. So that's what that is there to do. It's not there to spy on you. It's not there to serve you adverts or slow your computer down or anything like that. It's just there to let you know if you might be missing a donation. The other thing it does, which is really useful, is if you instead of searching for a retailer, if you thought, oh, there's something I want to buy, I want to buy a new washing machine, and I just want to see where I can buy it from. So you'll see in my search results, if I scroll down, if there are any retailers that I could buy a washing machine from that would also give me a donation, it will be displayed here with our button and our logo. If I keep scrolling, you can see there's lots and lots of them. So again, if I'll just choose Very, click that, will take me to Very. Sorry, my Wi-Fi in the office is a little slow today. If you're thinking it's a bit of a lag, we've got some I've got some work happening on our server here, so it's slowing things down. So there you go. It just takes you to the retailer's website, and it's logged you into your Easy Fundraising account in the background. So that's the other way you can use Easy Fundraising. And people often do a combination of all three. I do, for example, I have the website, and sometimes I might just go to the website. Other times I might just search for a retailer and the donation reminder will pop up. So that's how your supporters are going to raise those donations for you, simply by doing their shopping. What you probably want to know now is how does your organisation get involved? How do you get set up? Very, very straightforward. All you do is you go to this link here. I'm going to send these slides over to Rachel afterwards, so hopefully she'll be able to send them out as well. So don't worry about scribbling down notes if you don't have a pen to hand. So it's easyfundraising.org.uk/West-Box, and you'll see this page here. And all you do is type in the name there of the organisation that you want to register with us. Next thing you'll see is a little panel where we just ask you for your name, your address, and you create a password. Because what we're doing here is we're registering your cause with us, and we're registering you as the first supporter, as the contact. So you don't need to register yourself separately. You do all this when you register your organisation. You are what's known as our admin, which means you have control of this Easy Fundraising account. So if you can hear a lot of noise in the background, somebody's making coffee very, very noisily in the kitchen, which is just out here. We have a coffee machine and it's incredibly noisy, so apologies. Then just tell us if you're a charity or not. As I said, you don't need to be. It's just for our records. And then you'll see this page here that will just say the name of your cause is now registered. So this is just a test one I set up to get this screenshot. Then click next step. And what we're going to do now is we're going to create a page on the Easy Fundraising site for your organisation. And if you would like some information to appear on that page about your organisation, what you do, what you're raising for, etc., you can type that in here and we'll put it on your page. If you don't have it to hand, or you don't feel inspired, or you type it in and then you realise you've got a typo in there, it doesn't matter, because you can edit it or amend it or add it later. So if you don't want to do it then, just click skip for now. Then we'll ask you if you would want to put your phone number in. And the reason we ask you that is because all of our causes are able to have a call with a member of one of our Easy Fundraising advisors. So it will be my colleague Louisa or Claire or Jess or Rena. and it's at a time to suit you. So if you feel like, oh, I've just got a couple of questions, I would just like to ask somebody something, or I'm not quite sure, or I just need a bit of help, book a call. It's at a time to suit you. You click that book now button and it'll open a calendar where you pick a time and date and somebody will ring you and just answer any questions and make sure you know exactly what you're doing. You don't have to have a call. It is completely free. And don't worry, we're not trying to upsell anything or anything like that. We just know that after doing this for so long, we know that sometimes people just want to speak to somebody and quickly, make sure they know what they're doing. So if you need 5 minutes or you need 20 minutes, that's absolutely fine. And then you will have a page on the Easy Fundraising site that will look something like this. So you can also add a logo or an image, which you can do after you've registered. That's where your little description will go. And you'll have this page that will say the name of your cause. And importantly, it will have this button here that says sign up and support this cause. Now, you don't need to click this. Don't worry, you've already registered. But what this is for is so that your supporters can come along and choose you as the cause they want to support. I'll show you in a minute how very easy it is to do that. But all they do is they come to this page, they come to your page, they click sign up and support this cause, and all the information they need to give us is a name, an email address, and a password. And that will enable us to create them an online account that links to your cause. So we don't need any other information. We don't need their address. We don't need their bank details. So don't worry that that you might be asking your supporters to give out information. You don't. Name, email address, and password. And they've only got to do this once as well. Once they've said that yours is the cause they're going to support, they just do that once. We create them an account that links to yours, and that's that then. Whenever they shop online using our website, our app, or our donation reminder, the money goes directly to your organisation. Getting your supporters to come and support you is really straightforward because we've tried to put together everything that we think you will need in one place. Rachel and I were just chatting before the session actually about how so many organisations are volunteer-led, or you might be part-time, or fundraising might be part of what you have to do for your organisation, but so many of you are time poor. I'm a trustee for a small charity for Home Start actually, and do that in my spare time, and it's hard sometimes finding the time to do the things you need to do. So what we've done is we've tried to put everything together in one place that we think you will need to get your supporters on board. Once you've registered your organisation, we will send you some emails as well to point you in the right direction. But all you need to do is come here to promote my cause. And in here, you will find everything you need to let your supporters know that you are now an Easy Fundraising cause. So let's say the way that you communicate with your supporters is through Facebook, as an example. If I click on that, here you've got a ready written social post, a ready written Facebook post, which is automatically populated with everything your supporters need to know. So because you're looking at my account, it says Home Start Birmingham Northwest, but when you look at this, it will say the name of your cause that you've just registered, and it will be automatically populated here with the link that your supporters need to go to your page to sign up and support you. So all you would need to do here is copy that, post to Facebook, and you've shared a message out to your supporters. You've got the same here for email. If I just click on that, you've got a ready written email. You've got WhatsApp, you've got Twitter. If I scroll back up, you've also got digital and print. So you've got posters, flyers, and handouts. You've got information for your website. Sorry, let me just switch my phone off. If I go add to your website here, you've also then got ready written wording and images to create something on your website if you have one. You've also got a QR code, so you could literally just put this in your newsletter or on your Facebook page, or share it in WhatsApp, and if people just scan that, it will take them to your page. And then you've also got things like, if I go here again, all social media and email templates, and I'll use Facebook as an example. Here, you've got lots of different versions of wording. So you've got sign up supporters, which you might want to use once you've registered your organization. And then next week, you might want to use this one to remind supporters. Then perhaps you might want to say, we want to raise £200 because we want to do this. Once you've started raising some money, you might say, great news, you've already raised £42, please keep going. So there's lots of different versions of the wording here. So you've always got something new and fresh to say. And very importantly, it is always automatically populated for you with the right information. So because you're time poor, you literally just come here and grab what you need. You'll also find this bit of information here, November top to share. So we will always put up-to-date messaging in here as well. So at the moment we have a £3,000 prize fund going on. There's some wording to tell people that Black Friday and Cyber Monday are on their way, and if they're planning to buy some, get some bargains, they can raise money for you. There's some information here about Christmas shopping. So you'll always find here new wording that is relevant and timely to help you sort of keep the messaging fresh for your supporters. So once you've registered your organisation, you come to promote my course, you grab what you need and you share it with your supporters. They then come to your page, sign up and support you. We will then send them a few emails to help them get up and running. And then every time they shop, they're going to raise money for you at the same time. That is how it works. I'm going to finish off with just some top tips on how our causes that raise really well, we ask them, what do they do? What are their sort of top tips? What would they tell another cause? And this is what they came up with. The first one is supermarkets. So most of our retailers, as I said, donate a certain percentage of what you've spent. But the supermarkets, with the exception of Iceland and Ocado, will all donate a flat monetary amount every time somebody does a shop. And this is great because it's something really easy that your supporters can understand. So if a supporter shops weekly with Morrison's, they're going to raise £2 every week. So they're going to raise over £100 for you in a year. So it's a really simple message to give out to people is, if you're going to shop with Morrison's every week this month, you're going to raise £10 for us just doing that shopping that you're already going to do. And that's the really important thing, is so many people will be already doing an online grocery shop every week or 2 weeks or month. And now that shopping can become money for your organisation. So that's a really, really good message to give out to supporters. And in that promote my cause area, you will find wording that will tell them about supermarkets. Another top tip is around travel. So I mentioned I had a really large donation from booking.com, and that's very typical of the travel retailers because people spend a lot on a holiday. Average amount spent on a holiday is £1,500 for a family holiday. So just a couple of % of that is a decent donation. We work with lots of package holiday providers, travel agents, airlines, flights, that kind of thing. It's also things like your car hire, your airport parking, your travel money, your transfer. So every part of a holiday can raise a donation. But it's not just your holiday itself. It's also things like cottages, cottage holidays in the UK, days out, theme parks. Trainline, very popular retailer for us, they will donate, whether you're getting the train from your town to the next town or from one end of the country to the other, you'll get a donation. Things like National Express coaches, ferries, cruises, every sort of mode of transport or travel can get you a donation. I booked with National Express last summer to go from Birmingham to Heathrow. Much better experience than I expected it to be, actually, and I got a really nice donation as well. So again, not about encouraging your supporters to buy a holiday they can't afford, or trying to persuade them to spend money they haven't got. It's not that at all. It's just, if a supporter, a trustee, a volunteer happens to say, oh yeah, I'm thinking of going to Lanzarote in February, go, oh, have you booked it yet? Because you might be able to do it through Easy Fundraising and get a donation for us at the same time. January is a very, very, very big time for travel. You'll find that travel retailers will have lots of offers. They'll be trying to tempt people to book holidays because people come back from Christmas and they're all glum and they want to book a summer holiday. So lots of your supporters will be in the travel mood in January. There'll be, lots of offers around free child places. So retailers will be trying to tempt them in. You'll find they're shopping at that time, so that's a really good time to remind them that their travel plans can raise big donations for you. Another way is through retailers that instead of giving a percentage donation, they give a larger one-off donation when you take a policy with them. So this is things like car insurance, home insurance, TV packages, broadband, mobiles, that sort of thing. They will give you a donation when you take a brand new policy with them. So it has to be a new policy. You won't get a donation with this sort of retailer when you're renewing. But as an example, if you were taking an RAC breakdown policy, it's a £35 donation. If you're taking an Aviva car insurance policy, it's a £20 donation. You can even raise money with things like Go Compare and USwitch, where they will compare all the different prices, and you'll also get a donation. I think it's £12. So these are much larger one-off amounts, and they're the kind of boring grown-up purchases that we all have to make every year. Nobody gets any pleasure out of insuring their car, but unfortunately you've got to do it or you'll get in trouble. But now you can raise donations at the same time. There's even things like ISAs and finance type things, which aren't niche purchases, They're not an impulse purchase by any stretch of the imagination. But if somebody was planning to buy an ISA with lots of providers like LV and people like that, and their donations for ISAs and things like that are often in the hundreds. So again, that's just one to sort of be aware of. Our organisations and causes that raise really well, one of the things that they do is they think about the things that they need to buy themselves for their organisation. So perhaps you have a small office, or you have staff travel, or you have events that you need to buy things for. Think about what you buy, because you can buy them for your organisation through Easy Fundraising and raise at the same time. I spoke to a charity recently who'd just taken on their first paid employee, and they needed to buy her a laptop. So they bought it through PC World Business and they got a donation at the same time. They were already going to need to buy that, but they also got a donation. So just think about what has your organisation bought this year? What might you need to buy next year? Could be things like ink, toner, printer cartridges. It could be tea and coffee for the staff room. It could be office supplies, pen, paper. It could be groceries for an event that you're running. Just think about what you buy. Flyers, printing things off. We have retailers like Vistaprint and stuff like that, printer inks. Just think about what you buy, because they can all raise donations for you. And then the last thing that people tell us time and time again is that donation reminder is such an easy way for people to raise money. You ask your supporters to download it. There's wording in Promote My Cause to help you do that. They'll just download that, and then you never really need to tell them to do anything again, because it will be there capturing their donations. There's a handful of retailers it doesn't work with. So if you want to shop with booking.com as an example, you have to go through the website or the app. But for most of our retailers, that donation reminder will kick in. So before I finish, just a reminder, the page to go to register your organisation is easyfundraising.org.uk/west-berks. And then that's my email address there. And you are very welcome to contact me with any questions you have after this session, or in 6 months' time. I actually had an email a couple of weeks ago from somebody that attended a session in January, and she had a question and she kept my details. That's fine. That is my job, to help you guys raise money. So if you have questions, please get in touch with me and I'll be very happy to help. It might be you just need a bit of help signing up, or it might be that you've already got an Easy Fundraising account but you can't remember the login, or anything and anything. You can just let me know and I will be happy to help. So I'm going to stop sharing if that's the end of my slides, and hopefully that all made sense. And if anyone has any questions, I am very happy to take them.
Yeah, thank you, Becky. That was really comprehensive. I've got some questions written down, but I'm going to open it up to the floor first to see if there's anybody else that's got anything that they'd like to raise with Becky. Let's see if I can see the chat. No questions in the chat. Okay, while people think, then I'll keep an eye for hands. I just had some questions, I guess, from a supporter's perspective, Becky. Does it work with kind of the Klarnas and the PayPal Pay in 3 type payment options, or are there restrictions if you were kind of doing?
There will be restrictions for some retailers. There isn't a cover-all answer.
Okay.
So each retailer, when you go to their page, have a look at their page on our site. If there are any terms and conditions connected to that retailer, there's a little terms and conditions button, and you can click on that, and it will tell you if there are any reasons why you wouldn't get a donation. So some retailers, it won't matter whether you're using Klarna or PayPal. PayPal, it wouldn't really matter, I think, for most of them, but for some it might. So I can't say definitively.
I think it's just PayPal have got an interest free, so they do the kind of pay later, or they do pay in free. So it's kind of the more kind of not paying it all in one.
Not paying it straight away. Yes. I mean, as I say, some will, some won't, but it's always best to just have a quick check. Most will, I think, but always best to check.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other one was a similar kind of question is, and I guess it's probably a similar answer actually, will they work with discount codes and cashback? Because I know some of these sites, it's like, because the cashback bit, I guess, is effectively the grant donation. If somebody has a discount code for 10% off or this, that, or the other, is there some restrictions around those?
Again, it will vary from retailer to retailer, and it will say, so we often have discount codes ourselves. So if we've got one, we'll display it on that retailer page. But it's just best if you have got something like that, just visit the site, click on the T's and C's buttons, and it will tell you. And again, some will, it won't matter at all whether you've got a discount code, and they'll just amend your donation accordingly, because it will be 10% less that you've spent, or only use a discount voucher that you've found on Easy Fundraising, kind of thing.
Okay. I also have a question about refunds. So if I bought something and I take it back because it's faulty, or I change my mind, does that impact on the donation? Does the donation get withdrawn?
Yes. So what will happen? So the reason we pay our donations out every 3 months is to allow for things like that, because we never want to be in a situation where we've given you money and then we're going to take it back off you. So we won't give you that donation until the retailer has confirmed it. And some retailers will allow a returns period. So typically, say you bought 6 things and you sent 2 back, they will just give you the donation on the things that you did buy. They will just reflect that in how much you've spent. If you've sent everything back, then you wouldn't get the donation. But that is exactly why we allow that 3 months, so that we will only give it to you when we are satisfied that the retailer is paying it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, super. And then just one last question around support. So if I decide to support one good cause this year or this month, can I change that in my settings, or so that I've got the flexibility of
you absolutely can. So you go into your account, which is always at the top right of your screen, and one of the options will be change the cause I support. You click on that, you can type in the name of the cause you want to support, or you can search for different causes if you're not sure, and then from there you can just change the cause you support. So yeah, absolutely. And sometimes people do support more than one cause. I've done it myself when my children at one stage, all 3 of them were at different schools, and all of their school PTAs used Easy Fundraising. So I would just choose which one I wanted to support. What you can't do is you can't split your donation. So say it was a 4% donation, you can't say I want 2% to go to this cause, 2%. It will go in its entirety to whichever cause you've chosen to support at that moment. But what I used to do is I used to support one cause for a month, and then I changed to the other cause the next month. So yes, lots of people support more than one cause.
Super, thank you. That's all. Oh yes, and actually Lucy's just asked, can people support more than one cause? Yes, but not at the same time.
Yeah, and you can also register more than one cause as well. So if there are more than one cause that you're personally involved with, you can be the admin for more than one cause as well. That's very straightforward to do. You just register it again, register the second one.
Super. Okay, I'm going to hand back to the floor then. Were there any other questions for Becky whilst we have her? Quite happy. I've muted you all, but I'm quite happy for people to unmute and ask. We're quite a small group. Matilda, can you share your email again, Becky?
Yeah,
I'll pop it in the chat.
Pop it in the chat now, and then I'll send it over on the slides as well. I'll type. Very straightforward. Becky at easyfundraising.org.uk. They just wanted us to change our emails recently, so we were So I would be Becky.Coleman at Easy Fundraising, but I've had the Becky at Easy Fundraising one since 2009. So I was like, no, I'm not giving that up. I love that one. So I'm one of the only people that is just first name.
Okay, no, that's awesome. Thank you, Becky. Okay, any more for any more? I'm hoping, I mean, I've certainly made some notes. I'm going to go and have a chat with our director, because I think it's just, as you say, it can just run in the background, and apart from occasional social media posts and prompts, it's actually just quite a nice quiet way of potentially getting some extra funding in addition to all of the, you know, the grant applications that the organisations do. Fabulous. Okay, well, unless
I'll send you the slides, and then you can
absolutely, yeah, and I will, after we finish, I will send out a little bit of a feedback form and Becky's slides once I've got them for the participants that have joined us today. And Sarah says thank you for an interesting presentation.
Thank you for coming, Sarah, and everyone else.
Fantastic. Well, yes, thank you very much for joining us this morning. And
thank you.
and hopefully we'll see your courses on Easy Fundraising.
Yeah, soon. Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Becky.